So, Secret Invasion recently wrapped up its final episode, and well, it's been a long time since I've seen a show or movie have such a good premise and build up only to completely fall off and sizzle out so badly. And that's exactly what I feel happened with Secret Invasion. The entire concept of a Secret Invasion as Marvel has always been interesting to me. The fact that characters that we know and love could have been a species of shape-shifting aliens invading the Earth the whole time. And then if you would have paired that with a concept similar to a gritty Winter Soldier-esque spy thriller theme, you should have a great recipe for a show, right? Apparently not. Now, don't get me wrong, I was loving the show in the first 3 or 4-ish episodes, but around that midpoint, like once you really hit maybe the end of episode 3 or episode 4, the show really just fell off in interest and just became so boring. Instead of getting an entire secret invasion like the title promises, the show really just follows a small group of like evil scrolls, but telling us the whole time that yeah, there's millions of scrolls on Earth. The invasion basically already happened.
Who's here? All of us. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me there's a million Skrulls walking amongst us right now? Have you lost your reptilian ass mind?
I would have much rather liked to see the invasion happen on screen rather than hear the characters just talk about it and see the aftermath of it. One of the biggest problems committed by the show was that it made a planet-wide invasion storyline like Secret Invasion seem so small and uninteresting while at the same time having such an amazing and talented cast. This show really does have some great performances, and one such example is the conversation between Nick Fury and Skrull Rhodey. It really is one of the best dialogues between characters that I feel like we've gotten in a while from Marvel. But even with some great scenes, ideas, themes, and performances sprinkled throughout, the show still did fall off and just become a bore fest. Also, many of the characters in the show were just absolutely wasted. Maria Hill has been here essentially since the very beginning of the MCU, and I hope I'm not the only one, but I just did not care or feel anything at all about her death. Apparently the show didn't either, because by like the second episode after it happens, everyone either forgets she's dead or her death just doesn't really motivate any sort of plot lines in the show. While I'm sure she was probably nobody's favorite character, she still has been around since the very beginning, and to just have a character killed off like that and mean absolutely nothing, it just kind of feels cheap in the end. Another character that I feel like was wasted was Talos. Talos was a pretty interesting character from Captain Marvel who was just kind of killed off after he committed an action when he saved the president, which you would think would be a driving plot point in kind of redeeming the Skrulls. But when he died, it's just, I didn't care, and then he just kind of died for nothing. Like, his death didn't promote any sort of change with the Skrulls. He was just killed to make Gravik seem more of a big bad. One of the greatest character assassinations from Secret Invasion was Rhodey himself. Rhodey is revealed to have apparently been a Skrull for an unknown amount of time, and you'd think that would be a crazy and awesome twist that they would save for some big climactic moment, like bam, Rhodey's a Skrull. Nope, when it was revealed, it was just, to me, just weak and uninteresting. Like one of the longest standing characters in the MCU from the very first film, albeit a different actor, has been an alien for at least a few years, and I didn't care. It just didn't have any sort of gravity to it. And then it also eliminates the previously mentioned conversation between him and Nick Fury because it wasn't the real Rhodey, it was a Skrull. So the show just kind of invalidates itself and just wastes good moments that could have been better. This show really should have hit hard with the whole anyone can be a Skrull theme, but with only revealing maybe 1 or 2 major characters to be Skrulls and a bunch of random world leaders we've never seen before, the show really only scratched the surface of what could have been done. And honestly, I feel DC's Peacemaker show did a better job with the whole secret alien invasion concept. The climax of the show was also not very good. Starting off, it's already just a generic mirror match between two people who have the exact same power set, but it's between characters who have such a weak connection in the show and little to no importance to the plot. Even though one of them is our main villain throughout the whole show, it just seems so very lame. The whole fight is just two people who only have really one reason to be fighting, with 20 different superpowers just going at it, and it all just feels very lame and tacky. It was just a very disappointing final battle to this like 5 episodes of setup of a confrontation, which should have been between Nick and Gravik, but no, we just got two like ultra fan fiction characters going at it. The greatest crime, however, I feel Secret Invasion committed was teasing a way better concept for the show in its own finale. After surviving the whole Skrull mini invasion, the president of the US basically announces to the world that these Skrulls are indeed among us, and basically tells the whole world to declare war on them. And this leads to such an interesting concept where it's just worldwide chaos and paranoia, and it's like everyday civilians now just believe anyone could be a Skrull, and they begin to just take matters in their own hands and just start trying to out people as Skrulls, even going as far as to murder a politician in broad daylight, who as it turns out wasn't even a Skrull the entire time. The premise teased in this final episode of the show would have been leagues more interesting than what we actually received. Imagine if this was at the beginning of the show and set the stage for the entire thing. In the very beginning, we had Nick Fury and Maria Hills trying to undo this worldwide panic, having to deal with vigilantes just murdering innocent people to find out who isn't and who is a Skrull. And then mixed in with some actually heavy-hitting reveals about characters we know and love being Skrulls, and actually hitting hard with the whole theme of a secret invasion, we could have had an amazing espionage thriller. But nah, instead we get a baby version of Secret Invasion in a stupid 6-episode format that Marvel needs to get rid of, with plotlines that will probably not be picked up again due to the utter bashing that this show received. Secret Invasion itself should have been its own saga, or at least mini plotline with either a longer show or a few movies to tie in. The storyline is just too massive and important to cram into a 6-episode event format. And while in my opinion it had pretty great first few episodes, some great performances and concepts, the show really eventually just sizzled out and died with a horrible finale that basically left a pretty awful taste in everyone's mouth regarding anything Secret Invasion. The real disappointment is the teasing of a way better Secret Invasion that we could have gotten, but we didn't. We can only hope that this better plotline gets picked up in the future, but with the ratings this show got, it's probably never going to happen. In the end, Marvel Secret Invasion gets a 6.7 from me, and there isn't much left to say about it other than Marvel, you could have done better. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this little rant slash review about Secret Invasion. I've actually had this video written for a while, I just kind of lacked the motivation to record it. I do got a lot of things going on. I am actually heading out to college within the week of me recording this. And I know our previous content schedule, release schedule hasn't been the best, but I do hope I can kind of improve on that and just release more of these little short form videos. Anyway, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe in case you want to see future content, and see you guys with the next one.
This a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop. This the flow that got the block hot.